everyone, welcome back to the channel. Well, October has come out with a bang, hasn't it? So, in case you've been ignoring every piece of news media, notification on your phone, or are just trying to hide from the world, President Trump, Melania, and White House correspondent Hope Hicks caught COVID. So we got the news last night. The president confirmed it on Twitter. As of right now, from me checking the feeds, he's actually heading to the Walter Reed Hospital. Apparently he is getting one of the major symptoms, which is fatigue, and I believe possibly the coughing too. I could be wrong, don't hold me on that. But I do definitely see that he is supposed to be heading to Walter Reed Hospital. So, I'm actually going to be doing a reading, and I'm using two decks today. So the first reading is going to be using the Energy Oracle deck, and the second one is the Amira Salon Love Oracle deck. Something is telling me I'm being pulled, like, you know, urged to pull both decks. So that's what we'll do. So part one will be with the Energy Oracle deck, and part two will be with the Amira Salon deck, and let's see what comes out, okay? So, without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so I'm going to ask 3 questions, right? Because the letter that comes before R, I'll put it that way, has been hinting about an October surprise for some time. And that we may have seen our current president MIA for a specific period of time that sort of kind of matches the quarantine time of COVID. Also, there are people like Michael Moore right now that are, a lot of cards came out, but so I'm not going to add those, that have doubts about the claims. I personally think if you're heading to a hospital, you ain't lying. Like, you're not, nobody likes to go into a hospital. Like, nah, that's not a thing. You know what I'm saying? So, at this point, if he's going to the hospital, I don't think it is a lie, but, you know, so, my first question is going to be, does he really have COVID? And again, because there are people casting doubts. So, this is more me asking the cards, not my opinion on it at this point. Just, let's see what comes out. One last one, and then, alright. Okay. As you can see, the first 3 cards don't have anything to do with illness. Matter of fact, the first 2 contradict the second. So, door to personal healing and happiness. And if you look at this card, it's a very happy card, honestly. It is, you know, dove, you got a rainbow, there's a gate, I mean, you know, flora, fauna, lush stuff, like, in it, like, that is not normally a quote-unquote sick card. You know what I'm saying? Like, there are some serious cards in this deck, and that definitely isn't one of them, I'll put it that way. And usually this is a new beginnings card, regards to personal life. So, and it's specifically, this is a card for positive changes. As you can see, like, you know, there's lotus flowers included and stuff like that. Inner healing, breaking an addiction, making changes, like finding a new place to live, like life opening up, new opportunities. I almost feel like this is more like potential for the election than COVID. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm asking about COVID and I'm getting this card as the first one out. Okay, all right. So the second one, which coincides with the first one, almost like a back-to-back like confirmation, like is a blossoming abundance card. So with the blossoming abundance card, this is like another card dealing with like wealth and value and abundance, and another one like, you know, flora and springtime, and you got water, and like, you know, it's just we got a lot of happy tree Bob Ross stuff going on here. So to get it back to back like that, like that's kind of odd to me. It's the same thing, increase in wealth, in a dramatic or unexpected way, and you know, sowing your own seeds of wealth and prosperity. Talks about, this is a blessing card. That, you know, Trump is gonna be blessed. So I'm definitely gonna pull more cards to look into this, because this, like these first two, you know, if someone's sick with COVID, which is supposed to be very serious, especially for a man his age, like what's going on here? Then you got the more realistic card, financial constraints. So we know the president isn't really going to get a bill per se from the medical field. But, you know, the financial constraints card also came out after these two very high abundance cards. So these are all financially related, nothing to do with health. Like, or so it seems, right? So, the financial constraints cards, you can see it's an empty cabinet with cobwebs and stuff like that. Basically, like, you had money and now you broke. You know, you went balling out of control and now you got nothing. And so usually, like, when the financial restraints card, which is, you know, for me, it's one of those definitely like self-explanatory cards. There's restrictions regarding money. So, you know, due to cobwebs and dust, you gotta rein in your spending, which the United States has been needing to do even long before he became president. And, you know, here's what I'm getting so far regarding the COVID. I'm thinking this might be strategic. That there might be more to the story than the COVID situation. Because on the one hand, I'm like, okay, he's going to Walter Reed. Him, his wife, and Hope Hicks have this, you know, this diagnosis. Is this him showing what some people think is a hoax? Where he will reap the benefits in the end. That's one possibility. But then this financial restraint card comes in. The United States isn't a lot of debt. This could also be regarding his finances. So, once again, even though I'm asking about COVID, it seems like the angels and spirits want to bring out financial stuff. And what I'm wondering is this financial cards more towards the president and his affairs, or the country and the affairs. I'm thinking this stuff is more the president, because I feel like this situation, however it pans out, it's going to go in his favor in the end. So whether or not he really does have COVID, either way, these cards are coming out, it's going to go in his favor in the end. But I'm wondering, this is a long-term abundance. I'm not sure if it is. Let me pull a couple more cards to see what else could possibly come out regarding this, because like, I just think it's interesting that all the cards came out are dealing with finances and abundance, and the fact that this is a personal healing and happiness card. He should be okay. Like, it's gonna suck. those who, but COVID does have a pretty high, recovery rate. You may never necessarily be the same again, but the mortality rate is not as high as other diseases. So that's why I'm like, okay, let's see what else comes out. So I'm gonna pull 3 more cards to see if I can get more information on this. Abundance again. And Archangel Raphael came out right on top of the door to personal healing and happiness. He's definitely gonna get better. If he really does have COVID, he's gonna get better. So, Archangel Raphael, one of the main archangels, right? It's Archangel of healing. Okay? Also represents love, compassion, accepting oneself. You know, receiving love and healing from a broken heart. You know, this deals with the heart. Support, getting support. If Democrats think that this is going to affect Donald Trump in a negative way, yeah, people are dragging him right now, but it doesn't look like in the long run it's gonna affect him. Not with his base and the people who are in between anyway. Doesn't look like it. He's gonna get healed from this, it looks like. Cornucopia. Cornucopia, another abundance card, you know, aka, I like to call it the Thanksgiving card, you know. And it's interesting that this card came out, you know, October is usually a time of harvest, so, but another card, like, forest, abundance, this is wishes fulfilled. Abundant harvest, great blessings awaiting you. You may even find all your wishes fulfilled. Gifts from the universe can come in the form of financial riches, job fulfillment, romantic love, or all the above. Hey, if you get all the above, good for you. You've done important work, and it's about to pay off. I have a feeling this might be a strategy, and the strategy is going to go in his favor. He is sick with something because there is healing. Financially, he's going to be doing good, but then this card comes up and the goddess of the moon comes on top of it. So, the goddess of the moon, that middle, so you can see women holding a full moon. And as you know right now, it is the harvest moon. We are in a month with blue moons. One in the beginning, and then the other one at the end, towards Halloween. So this is dealing with intuition. Eternal spirit holding bright, reflective moon. Arms are stretched out. Receiving the light of the moon, right? This is an intuition card. Insights into the soul. But it seems like the moon is trying to give intuition regarding financial constraints. It's recommending to listen to the gut. Listen to your guides. You know, sometimes this signifies like psychic ability, like blossoming, a mediumship. I don't necessarily see that happening in that aspect. But it looks like if he wants to prevent this, he's going to have to listen to his intuition. So it seems like in the beginning, this is gonna, once he gets healed and everything, this is gonna go his way. He will get support and stuff like that. It won't go as negatively as one thinks. But on the back end, he gotta work on the financial constraints. Which also could be in regards to the tax information that has been coming out and his extremely large debt. So that could also be why these cards are coming out. But from what it looks like, you know, I know everyone's been talking about the infamous Simpsons episode. Right now, the cards are saying that's not the case. Alright, question 2. Is this part of Q's plan? Oops, I wasn't supposed to say the letter. But I said it. For those of you who don't follow that particular organization or don't know, there's been mention of what they call an October surprise. And that this was part of the plan for the president to be MIA for, they were saying 8 to 10 days, but it looks like up to 2 weeks. While some horrible truths, I'll say, come out. I'm not saying you gotta believe in it. I'm not saying you don't gotta believe in it. I'm just saying what is out there right now. You guys can look it up yourself. They're already kind of considered public enemy number 1. Especially to Congress recently, so I'm a hold my mule. So, question number 2. Is this part of the October surprise predictions? I'll put it that way. And you guys on your end, or if you want to email me, I could give you details. Some of the stuff that they're claiming is supposed to happen in October. Whether or not you want to believe it is completely on you. And we'll see. Let's see, guys. Is this October surprise? Raphael came out again. And a financial card came out again. So the first one is the Arrested Rejuvenation. Which, yeah, like, that's part of the plan. Part of the October surprise is the Rest and Rejuvenation card. That the president will be, you know, not as visible for, it was originally stated 8 to 10 days, but with COVID, that's really 14 days, not really 8 to 10. So, as you can see, a man is, you know, in a meditation pose. He's receiving energy. You could also look at it as receiving information if you want to, you know, look at it from a different point of view. And when this card comes out, this is exactly, you know, one thing I like about these cards, they're kind of self-explanatory when you look at them. Relaxation and meditation. Being in a tranquil state. It's time to relax. So, to me, this is confirming that this rest and relaxation is part of the October surprise. And part of it is to get certain plans that are in place. Now, second card, once again, Archangel Raphael, the angel of love, acceptance, healing. So it looks like during this time period, some much needed rest is gonna happen with the help of Archangel Raphael. And it also confirms, like, yes, this seems to be part of the plan. The plan being taking time off in October while certain things may potentially go down. I'll put it that way. Finally, you got a woman holding a coin. So as you can see, there's a black cat with purple next to this woman, and she's holding a coin. Very elegantly dressed. Beautiful makeup, if you will. And almost looks like an ancestor coin, if you take a look. Okay. So a woman holding a coin. It's a financial card. This is a female connected with money. Right? Or at least a female energy connected with money. Also deals with health or value. So there's a successful endeavor regarding finances and health coming up. Given the two questions, here's what I'm starting to think. It looks like the October surprise is something planned. Maybe not necessarily COVID, but definitely some type of rest and relaxation was planned for the president, right? Whether or not it's related to certain events that are supposed to happen this month, that's still up in the air. That's going to be question number 3, which will probably be my most controversial question. Trying to find the right way to say this. He's receiving assistance from a female. Of wealth and value. Of business, if you will. With this October surprise, did this woman of wealth and value, I don't want to say her name on screen, but if you guys have been paying attention to, let's say, a particular Netflix documentary that kind of helped bring somebody in, that leads with what's supposed to happen this month. And given that this woman used to be at the president's properties in Mar-a-Lago, the Netflix documentary spoke about this, right? If this is the woman I'm thinking, a woman who currently is incarcerated, but comes from very high status, even hung out with royalty, is she helping him with this rest and relaxation plan while the October surprise happens? Inquiring minds want to know.